She worked for 31 years, a school cafeteria, 5:30 in the morning every day, and when she finally retired, the government told her something had changed. Nearly 69 million Americans depend on Social Security to survive. In 2025, that system is under more pressure than at any point in the last half century, and most of the people who depend on it don't know what's coming. Retirement. For generations of Americans, it was a promise. You work, you contribute, you sacrifice, and in return, the government guarantees something to live on. Social Security, created in 1935, now 90 years old, it is not charity, it is not a handout, it is a contract. But in 2025, that contract is being tested in multiple ways, all at once. And for millions of retirees, almost invisibly, there are changes to eligibility, changes to access, changes to the officers meant to serve you, and above all of it, a ticking clock, a clock Congress has yet to stop. This documentary is about those changes, what they are, who they affect, and what happens next if nothing changes. Because the people with the fewest options will feel it first. August 14th, 1935. America was clawing its way out of the Great Depression. 1 in 4 Americans was unemployed. Poverty among the elderly was widespread. People worked until they couldn't, and then they had nothing left. Social Security changed that. Every paycheck, 6.2% goes in, matched by employers, every pay period, every year. And when you retire, you receive a monthly benefit. But this is not a savings account. It is a shared system, a generational agreement. Today, nearly 69 million Americans rely on it. The average retiree receives about $1,976 a month. For 1 in 3, that is 90% of their income. Think about that. For tens of millions of people, this is not support, it is survival. In 2025, benefits increased by 2.5%. For the average retiree, that's about $50 more each month. It helps, but it doesn't keep up. Inflation may have slowed, but rent hasn't dropped, groceries haven't dropped, medication hasn't dropped. $50 is relief. It is not stability. For decades, millions of public workers received less than they earned because of 2 policies buried in the system. That changed in 2025. The Social Security Fairness Act became law. Benefits increased. Back payments were issued. For many, it was long overdue, but every added benefit comes from the same fund, and that fund is already under pressure. Then came the cuts. Thousands of Social Security workers were removed at a time when demand is higher than ever. Fewer workers, more retirees, longer lines, offices closing, phones unanswered, appointments delayed for weeks. And for millions, access is no longer simple. It becomes a barrier. Not everyone has internet. Not everyone can travel. And for those people, access doesn't just slow down. It disappears. Margaret is 68, a retired teacher. Under the new law, her benefits increase. She receives back pay. For her, it changes everything. She can finally afford her medication again. Now consider James. He's 71. He lives in a rural area. His nearest Social Security office is now hours away. He needs to update his payment information, but he has no reliable internet. So he drives, he waits, he spends an entire day solving a basic problem, and he's one of the lucky ones because he can drive. Millions cannot. The people who depend on Social Security the most are the ones who now face the biggest barriers. There is a bigger issue, one that doesn't arrive in the mail. The year is 2033. That's when the Social Security Trust Fund is projected to run short, not disappear, but shrink. If nothing changes, benefits will be reduced by about 23%. For the average retiree, that means losing hundreds of dollars every month, gone, not gradually, all at once. Congress still has time, but not much, and every year of delay makes the solution harder. The cuts have sparked backlash. Workers say the system is breaking. Lawmakers warn of serious harm. Communities are losing access. The cuts were described as efficiency, but the system was already stretched thin. Now, it's thinner, and the people feeling it most are the most vulnerable. If you depend on Social Security, act now. Create your account, check your benefits, plan ahead, know where your nearest office is, because when you need it, it may not be close. Social Security has survived nearly a century, crisis after crisis, but this moment is different. Not a sudden collapse, a slow pressure, less staff, less access, more demand, and a deadline that is getting closer. She worked for 31 years, and this month she got her check, but the system behind it is getting smaller. serving more people with fewer resources. The question is not whether it matters. It does. The question is whether action will come before it's too late. Because for millions of Americans, this is not policy, it is survival. She worked for 31 years and she got her check this month. Social Security is not broken, but it is under pressure, real, documented, measurable pressure. And the people bearing the weight of that pressure are the P. The question is not whether this program is worth saving. Nearly every poll taken in the last decade shows bipartisan, supermajority support for protecting Social Security across party lines, across generations. The question is whether the people elected to protect it will act before the math forces their hand. Powell.